We would talk about Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell moving to my homeland. I don't know. She's moving to Ireland, guys. Right ahead of St. Patrick's Day. I'm planning to spend some more time there this summer. My family is originally from there, actually from a very small region in the southeastern part of Ireland called Ring. And they still speak Gaelic there. You know, it's really amazing. They actually teach math and history and everything. The only thing they teach in English in this little town is English. So they're very proud of their heritage. They're very proud of their culture. And now Rosie's in on the act. I don't think she's near my family, but here she is saying she has moved to Ireland and she loves it. I don't disagree with her. It's the warmest place. The people are extraordinary. It's wonderful. And you know what? They've had a ton of economic success because they made a lot of right decisions policy-wise when they had the chance. Anyway, now they get Rosie.
Well, hey everybody, it's me, Rosie O'Donnell, star of the Flintstones. It's Tuesday all day, as my nana would say. And I'm here in Ireland. And it's beautiful and warm, not physically, it's actually quite cold. Moved here on January 15th, and it's been pretty wonderful, I have to say. The people are so loving and so kind, so welcoming, and I'm very grateful. I'm in the process of getting my Irish citizenship, as I have Irish grandparents.
You can do that.
That's what's going on, and that's where I've been and what I've been doing. And although I was never someone who thought I would move to another country, that's what I decided would be the best for myself and my 12-year-old child. And here we are. Here we are. So
you,
TikTok
Rosie.
has gotten a little bit dark and negative for me. I don't feel capable of going through the hate that comes through, and I'm trying Substack, and I think I like it there. Now, it's hard to learn. If the Substack people
blah, blah,
are
blah. So
listening,
now she's going to promote her products. But she has descended upon Ireland. It's funny because the head of Ireland was visiting the White House today, and he got asked kind of an amusing question. Somebody, it's hard to hear, you might have to turn up the volume, but the person said, you know, Ireland's such a great place with so many happy people. How on earth did you let Rosie O'Donnell in? And the funny thing is that the guy who runs Ireland had no clue who Rosie was. And Trump handled this quite beautifully. I want you to see.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people. Great attitude, many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to lower your happppiness level.
That's true. Thank you. I like that question.
Mr.
Do you know you have
Are you expecting?
Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
You better off not. You better off not knowing.
President Trump,
Yeah, you're better off not knowing. You're better off not knowing. Very, very interesting sort of reaction. And he thinks quick on his feet, right? He kind of saved his colleague there, the head of Ireland, from any embarrassment, and was able to be quite nimble with that. Anyway, so yeah, she's gone to Ireland. You can do that. You know, if you have a grandparent that is from Ireland, you can get an Irish passport, which is kind of cool. All that said, you know, Ireland is facing its own challenges. I've talked about this before, but you know, think about how the UK has allowed all this migration, right, into the UK. And it's actually a big part of what Brexit was. You know, voters are very angry. You're seeing a failure of their ability to integrate, and immigration has become a huge deal over there, much like it has here. And then you've got Ireland, which had been sort of protected from that for so long. But now the UK is sending a lot of the people that they've been importing there from the Middle East. They're sending them into Northern Ireland. And because Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland are, you know, everybody's getting along now, and they've got a border that you can cross over very easily. I've done it many times myself. You can just go right through the border, and then you're part of Southern Ireland. And so the demographics are changing. For example, when I was in Belfast, I saw a lot of women in the full-on hijabs, and that was sort of surprising, right? Because it's Ireland. And I was just sort of taken back by the tremendous diversity that they had in the population, certainly in Northern Ireland. And then as you went to Dublin, again, you saw it in Dublin. It's different in the countryside, and where I'm from, it's a very different kind of feel than you see in those big cities. But the cities now are changing. And there are a lot of people in Ireland who are absolutely fine with that. There are a lot of people, though, that are very concerned that they're going to lose their Irish traditions and that they're going to lose their Irish way of life. There was a mother who spoke out about this most recently. I want to show you a quick clip of her because she really hit the nail on the head. She said, look, I live in Dublin, and my child's life is so different in Dublin now because of the demographic that is shifting. And like for a culture that cares so much about its identity, and they do, because listen, you know, the British came in and they wouldn't allow them to speak Irish. So when you see these small communities like the one I'm from where they're still speaking Irish today, it's because they want to make sure that their traditions and their cultures are observed and cherished for the future. And she's telling the people in the countryside, look, it's all changing. It's changed in Dublin. It's going to change for you. And I find this interesting because it really suggests to me that, you know what, Ireland, much like the US, much like other places, is facing a very similar challenge. It's not just the Rosie O'Donnells they're getting, right? They're really trying to hold on to their culture, and there's some fear that they may not be able to in this sort of brave new world. Let's listen to the mom.
I'm from Dublin, but I come to Mayo every weekend. But I wanted to talk about what the situation is like where I live, because you have not seen what is coming yet, and I have. Where I live is about 85% foreign nationals. I can walk down the street on any given day, walk into the supermarket, and I don't hear an Irish conversation. I hear foreign people everywhere. My child is one of 30 children in her class, and she's the only Irish child. She came home crying from school a few weeks ago because she doesn't understand what any of her friends are saying. The children revert back to their own languages when they're not being taught. She literally cannot understand the conversations around her. But when Halloween came around there a few months ago, last year she was allowed to dress up. Sorry, the year before last she was allowed to dress up. This year she wasn't allowed to dress up. And when I asked the school why, they said they didn't want to offend people. But I don't go for a walk around the park during the day with my child anymore. I have a big dog and I don't go for a walk by myself anymore. I very rarely leave my house because where I live is so unsafe. And that is the reality that you're facing if you don't make a stand. And I understand it's really, really hard to, you know, be called names and all of these things. But you have to stand up on behalf of your children and the future of the country. The landscape of this country is changing completely. And if you're okay with that, fine, but I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that for my child. Please, please put your children first and your country first, and just don't care what anyone else thinks.
Wow. So, I mean, it's a message that, you know, if you think about it, guys, we have heard before, right? We have heard that message over and over again here in the US. We've heard that message in the UK. We've heard that message in Germany. And now you're starting to hear that in Ireland. And so I think it's, you know, people are pushing back against this in a pretty massive way. I think because we love who we are as Americans. The Irish love who they are as Irish. The Brits love who they are. And you know what? You ought to be able to love who you are in your home country. And you shouldn't have to change, right? Because another culture comes in and demands that you change. You are, as an American, American first, right? And I say that as an Irish American who, by the way, appreciates very much that Donald Trump just made all of March Irish Heritage Month. How do you like that? I should be wearing green every day, right? I'm looking forward to St. Patrick's Day. I have an Irish step dancer in the family, so I'm sure we'll get quite a show from her. Anyway, lots of parades, you know. It's prime season.